How to use Codex for Design beginner tutorial. Codex isn't just for developers anymore. Right now, roughly 1 in 5 people using it every week are non-developers, designers, marketers, analysts, operators, even investment bankers. And that group is growing more than 3 times faster than the developer side. In the next 20 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to use Codex as a design tool, not a coding tool. You're borrowing for design an actual design assistant from a blank page to a finished landing page, a batch of on brand social assets, and a shareable interactive prototype that you can send to a client without them needing to log into anything. Now, forget the AI coding agent label for a second. In design terms, Codex is basically a system that kind of reads a brief, produces a visual result, and lets you mark up exactly what's wrong with the result as you go on. All right. Now, what you're going to do in, your very own Codex is give it a brief. It's available as a desktop app inside of your browser, and this is the part most beginners don't know about. Directly inside tools you probably already use like Figma and Canva once you connect them. Now, the core loop looks something like this. You're going to write a brief. Codex generates something. You annotate the output directly rather than describing changes in a paragraph of text, and it annotates and revises based on those annotations. Now, that third step, direct annotation, is the single biggest thing separating Codex from a basic type a prompt, get an image tool. You're not negotiating with words about where a button should sit. You click the button and say, move this. And that's the same way you would read a red line printed layout with a pen. Now, it is also worth understanding why this matters for non developers specifically. Now, OpenAI has been building role specific plugins for Codex aimed at a product design and creative production and other non engineering work, building the integrations, instructions, and context needed for Codex to approximate that specific job. So when you see Codex for design, you're not actually using a stripped down version of a coding tool. You're using a version of a Codex that's been shaped around what designers actually need. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to open up your ChatGPT. Now, there's two ways. You can either download Codex for your Windows and integrate it directly into your design as so, and as you can see, Codex is going to act like a project where you're simply going to tell GPT something to do. And once you tell it to do that, GPT is going to, as you can see, create that app launch just like this as a code. Now you can find it in your browsers as well in the projects section. So let's say over here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. You can choose the memory. It could be a project only memory or a default memory. I'm going to go with a default memory and I'm going to call this app design. I'm going to hit create project and that creates my project as so. And as you can see, you can start a new chat in this design for yourself. Okay. Now, of course, for Codex, you do need the upper plan. Codex is not on the free plan, so do make sure to upgrade your plan from the free to the plus. Okay, Codex is going to be available at the plus plan, as you can see, with the Codex coding agent. Now, once you've gotten that, you're going to go ahead and aim yourself at the design that you're using. Now, you're using a version of Codex that's been shaped around what designers actually need. So once you start a new project for yourself, before you type a single instruction, understand this. The single biggest lever on your output quality is how much real context you front load. So beginners type something like make me a landing page. Now that is not it. Okay. You're going to get back something generic because that's literally all the information the system has to work with. Give it 3 things every time, no exceptions. First, you're going to give it the brand, like the colors, fonts, and if you have any brand fonts with tones, if it's playful, if it's serious, if it's premium and quiet, loud and energetic, etc. So I want the app to be a, let's say, habit tracker application with, let's go with teal and olive green as its coloring. I want it to be minimal and rustic with, let's go with aesthetic animations. Okay. And not too loud, simple and quiet. Okay. Now, secondly, the goal is, what do you actually want a visitor to do on this page? Sign up for a trial, book a call, buy something directly. This single fact reshapes the entire structure of the page, not just a button. So I want this page, or I want the app to be helpful to audiences, enabling them to add new habits, track current habits, and set alarms for different habits. Now, once that is done, the third thing is at least one visual reference. A competitor site you like the layout of, a screenshot from your camera roll, a dribble shot, anything visual. And even if you have brand assets sitting on your computer right now, like a logo file, a style guide, PDF, or even just a screenshot of your existing website or app, you're going to upload them into the project immediately. Now, once you send it in, Codex reads these files and extracts actual colors, spacing patterns, and proper typography going on. Now, once you have structured your prompt and sent it in, Codex is going to write all the significant things that you're going to need. The UI style, the animation, and the different states that it needs, and so on. And it goes ahead and gives you the whole mystery of it. Now, once all of this is done, and once you've asked it to do all of that, it's given you the proper, curriculum. Now you're going to simply be like, create it now. Or you could say, create a sample of it. Now, once you do that, Codex is going to start annotating the workflows. And it's the feature that actually separates Codex from a basic image generator. So you can go slowly here. Once you have this first draft on the screen, you're going to switch on to your annotation mode, and you're going to see that you can click directly on individual elements, a headline, a specific button, the gap between two sections, an image, and leave a note attached to the exact spot. You can simply annotate things just so Codex knows what you can do with it. You can also work inside different tools with this specific draft. Now, the tools that we're talking about are, first of all, Figma. Now, if your team already works in Figma, connect it. This changes your workflow meaningfully. And once linked, you can copy a Figma frame link and paste it directly into your Codex, and it uses the Get Design Context tool to extract the actual layout styles and components from that frame. Okay. And it works pretty appropriately, works pretty decently. And that means when Codex generates a new section for you, it's not inventing a design language from scratch. It's matching the actual components and styles your team that has already established. Now, your landing page itself isn't the only design surface you're going to need. There are different things like pitch decks or, different things like collaborative tools that are needed. Now, as you can see, this is the draft that Codex is going to give you. And you can go ahead and make changes. Now, I, of course, like this. I, of course, the look it is giving me. Okay. And working along with stuff like this is going to give me a good concurrent design to work with. So, of course, once all of this is done, you're good to go through, and that's the complete loop. A specific brief with real brand context and a reference image, a first generation U review. Codex won't replace your design instinct of your taste, but it collapses the distance between having an idea and having something real that you can put in front of another person. So that is pretty much about it for this video. Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see all of you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.